After the time trial at Morgan Hill, Stage 5 of the Amgen Tour of California commenced from the city of Stockton. This is the Stockton Ports baseball ground here, and of course an area famous for its wine. The finish will be Elk Grove, a ride of 110 miles, and there in Elk Grove was the start of the three-day women's race as they got underway. By the time they came down to the finish, it was a surprise win in a great sprint victory for Kendall Ryan, who comes from Ventura, a staging town on the Amgen Tour earlier this week. Very good sprint by the youngster on the Tipco team, and getting the first leader's yellow jersey in the women's breakaway from heart disease three-day tour.
Well, she came up to the line and showed a clear set of wheels to everybody else. In fact, she'd been extremely dominant on the local circuit this year.
Power always wins! Yeah!
It was a very emotional presentation for her too on the yellow jersey stand. But tomorrow she'll defend this around South Lake Tahoe on a hilly course. There's all the leaders' jerseys here. The white jersey. The leader's jersey, Annette Edmondson, in the sprint leader's jersey there, and also in the white jersey, best young rider, Emma White. Good name for the white jersey. Most courageous rider there was Alison Whitney. She's in the lead for quite a long way, caught just before the finish. For the men, they had a bit further to ride, coming up from Stockton to the same finishing line as the women at Elk Grove. That's Fernando Gaviria signing on and getting underway here from the start line at Stockton.
Well, the first rider to make the move over on the right-hand side, Stein Vandenberg of AG2R Le Mondiale, was quickly joined by four other riders right from the get-go to establish a five-man leading group. Fabian Leinhardt of Holoesco Citadel, Michael Rice, Tanner Putt, Ruben Campagnoni joining Van Steenberg.
After the time trial low yesterday, the man in the leader's yellow jersey now, TJ Van Garderen, trying to protect a 23-second advantage. It seemed to be that this would be a day for the sprinters. Caleb Ewan, one of those sprinters, riding along beneath a warm sunshine. Number 41 there, Mark Cavendish, a man for the sprint perhaps at the end, alongside the new race leader, TJ Van Garderen. The breakaway continued down the course, never gaining more than 3.5 minutes, and then a crash as the race was coming towards the end.
Yes, Taylor Phinney in the pink jersey also having those spokes ripped out of his wheel. Mark Cavendish waiting to decide whether or not to get a wheel from his teammate or from the team car. While a little further up the road, one of the other ace sprinters, Marcel Kittel of Germany, was also having problems.
So while Cavendish returned with his team, the other teammates were dropping back for Kittel, and then this was a far more serious crash, coming just over 2 miles from the finish. A lot of riders in pain here. None of the big sprinters were caught up in it. Mark Cavendish narrowly avoiding it. As the race sped on, though, it left a lot of riders in pain.
Yes, but it was a very nasty crash, and Gaviria just escaping it in the blue and white jersey over on the right-hand side. But then when the organisation came from the riders in the blue and dark jerseys from Quick Step Floors, they were trying to launch their man, Fernando Gaviria, into orbit. He's in second position there, and right behind him, the world champion, Peter Sagan, in the white.
And behind Sagan was Caleb Ewan, the big sprinters lining up for the finish. Also there was the English rider, Dan McClay. As they came through to the finish, so a perfect lead out as Casey moved out of the slipstream. Fernando Gaviria took over. He won the opening stage of this race in Long Beach. He was now winning this stage here in Elk Grove. They could get in his slipstream, but they could not get past him. So Gaviria, a very happy man. Terrific sprint.
Superb sprint, and it was well lined out by his teammates all the way into the final 1.5 kilometers. Caleb Ewan tried to respond but had to fail down into second place, while Peter Sagan consistently once again up there in third position, just as he was in Long Beach on the opening day one.
Yes, the same 1-2-3 result as on the opening stage of this race. The world champion on the right, Caleb Ewan on the left, and the man in the middle, Fernando Gaviria. The yellow jersey untroubled today as he stands alongside the leader also of the women's race. So well done to Kendall Ryan. They're the two leaders tomorrow. Let's have a look at the overall standings in the men's race. No change at all amongst the leaders. Van Garderen 23 ahead of Bernal, 37 seconds on Martinez. But tomorrow's stage, I'll tell you, is a vicious one. 7 climbs tomorrow around Lake Tahoe. So it's not done for just yet. The top 10 completed by Brent Buckwalter, but he's 2 minutes and 34 seconds behind. Leaders' jerseys on stage. There was a change in the leadership because the green jersey now on the shoulder of Caleb Ewan for Visit California. The white jersey remains on the shoulder of Egan Bernal. The yellow is on the shoulder of TJ Van Garderen.